Jonny, if you could give a short intro to what the point of this podcast is, that would be great.
Yeah. So there's I think we're both coming to it with different things. I guess the idea is to talk about difficult or sometimes controversial or complicated topics that are a regular part of everyday life for all of us. And in any conversation, it seems like in modern American life, they're highly politicized and full of grift. That's one of the problems that we see. It's why we are skeptical of all these other podcasts and forms of media and stuff like that. So the idea is, how do you get rid of all that and find a way to have two people have a good, high quality conversation and get closer to the truth?
How would you define grift?
I define grift as basically any kind of content where someone is chasing after money and audience capture rather than the truth and the best possible conversation they could have. Right? It's where their goals are kind of like misaligned. That's how I kind of frame it. I'm curious how you define it.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a purpose for grift. I think like my definition of grift would be taking advantage of someone's emotions by using an argument that's not logically sound, but the person that they're delivering it to is willing to believe it because of that person's emotional state.
Yeah. Yep.
And then the purpose would be to obviously take advantage of that to where you profit or benefit in some way. From whether that's socially, financially, or in any other space.
So obvious in the spirit of that, we don't have a sponsor yet, but I figured we would get Big Maple Syrup to sponsor the show. Obviously, the perfect miracle cure given to us by God to heal all ailments. What do you think?
Honestly, getting a recognition from Big Maple Syrup would be...
That would be huge.
I'd be honored. Yeah.
I mean, I've personally been drinking a gallon of it every day, and that's why I am now protected from Jewish space lasers. So,
is there something about maple syrup that I'm missing the context on?
No, it's just you know how like people with those at home remedies, it's always something like super generic that's natural. They're like
onions and honey.
Yeah. Did you have eczema? Just rub a little honey on your thighs. Now you're good.
Dude, put the onions at the bottom of your feet and cover your socks with Vaseline. I swear to God, Grandma said it worked. They cured the Spanish flu with this.
No more Spanish flu. Yeah. So Big Maple Syrup. Thanks in advance for sponsoring the No Grift Zone.
You ever see those ads when you're like on any website ever and it's like, do this one thing, and it's like the weirdest picture of the most grotesque like food item attached to someone's eyes or their toes or whatever?
Obviously, like that clickbait works for some people, right? Are people just attracted to like really gross stuff or what? I don't know.
And ever since I was like 10 years old, at the beginning when I was on the internet, I looked at that stuff and I just knew there was some sort of grift, I guess, to those ads.
Yeah.
And I knew they like weren't real. I knew it was fake in some way. But, still like 14 years later, I'm still seeing those ads.
They're still everywhere.
So somehow they're profiting and they're making money. And I just wonder, are they taking advantage of like the 50-year-olds back then that were clicking on them and they're now 64 and still clicking on them? Like what's going on? Who's clicking on these ads?
Imagine getting duped for 15 straight years by the same BS. What a loser.
Oh my gosh.